I think I remember how to do this. Erev Tov, everyone. The parasha begins, Shoftim v'shotrim titen lecha b'chol shorecha asher Hashem Elokecha nosein lecha. So the word shorecha has many nuances, many references in the Torah and in Tanakh and in rabbinic literature. The simple explanation of sharecha, why it's used here by shoftim and shotrim, is because the courts, the Batei Din, in every Jewish community in Eretz Yisrael in the time of the Beit HaMikdash, with the exception of the Sanhedrin, but the lower courts were always at the gate of the city, meaning they were easily accessible. And we see that in the story of Boaz and Ruth in the Megillas Ruth, that he came to the gate in order to have the halacha certified that he would marry Ruth. So the Batei Din always was shorecha, or in the gates. The other nuances to the word shorecha. So we have, for instance, we're going to say it soon in Slichot, Shari Shamayim Lonu Petach. There are, so to speak, gates in heaven too. And there are Shari Tfilah, gates to prayer. And that if the gate, God forbid, are not open, so then the Tfilah can't go anywhere. Shar also in Hebrew refers to an estimate. It also refers to a comparison. There's a shar between the dollar and the shekel. So it is a word that has many, many uses. And when the Torah quotes such a word that has all of these different nuances, the Torah means to imply that all of the nuances are in play. So that when we read Shoftim v'shotrim titein lecha b'chol shorecha, we should not limit it just to the fact that at the gates of the city sat the court, and that the court was responsible for shoftim and shotrim, judges and the police, the enforcers of the law, but that it's a general statement, wherever the word shar is used. So we find that especially in the works of the great Hasidic Rabbonim, and they expanded it. So even though it's not the pshat, it certainly isn't what the meaning of the pasuk is, but nevertheless it conveys a level of understanding and of morality that the Torah wanted us to absorb. So they say the name of Rebbe Melech Luzhins, but it's the name of other Hasidic Rebbeim as well. The shar, he says, also means an opening. In our human body, we have openings, we have orifices. And for instance, we have ears and we have eyes We have a mouth. So the Torah wanted us to establish shoftim and shotrim on the shiurim as well, to guard those gates. So we have, the Gemara says, why do we have an earlobe that's soft and you can bend it? So the Gemara says that you can bend it in order to stop up your ears, not to hear things that you shouldn't hear. I mentioned to you a number of times that the Chofetz Chaim in the Sefer Shmir Saloshon states that it's 40 years, he writes, since I recall having spoken Lashon Hara. And he says it's 20 years since I have heard Lashon Hara. So apparently, if one does not speak Lashon Hara for 20 years, then heaven will help that person that he won't hear it. People won't come and tell him, did you hear? No, he didn't hear. So that's as far as the ears are concerned. You have to have shoftim v'shotrim. You have to guard your ears from what you hear. And unfortunately, in our time of continual news, and news lives on scandals, whether they're true or not. So it's very difficult not to hear Lashon Hara, because the whole industry is based on Lashon Hara. And then there are the eyes. What do you see? What do you look at? So they're also in our world, being careful what you see is very difficult. But what you see remains an image in your brain. Your brain is a computer that never erases anything. And therefore, at odd moments in life, you remember things that you saw. So you should be careful what you see. And the fact that all of the Isurim are used today to publicize and sell goods, etc., it makes it triply difficult to do so. So it's hard to have shoftim v'shotrim on your eyes. And then on your mouth, certainly we discussed about speaking, to be careful what you say. I remember when I was a lawyer, so the senior partner had a sign on his desk that said, do not engage mouth unless brain is in gear. Because many times we say things haphazardly, without thought. And once it's said, you can't get it back. So the concept of shoftim v'shotrim refers b'shorecha to all of your gates, to all of the senses that you have, that you should be careful with them. They're gifts from God, and we should not misuse them. Shouldn't ruin them. If a person gives a gift to someone else, and the person who gave the gift thought the gift was of value, and a few days later he finds the gift in the garbage, he's doubly hurt. He's doubly insulted, because he gave you something precious and you took it and squandered it and treated for nothing. So Rabbi Salanter had a famous statement that he made. He said, not everything a person thinks should be said. Not everything that a person says should be heard. Not everything that should be heard should be printed. Not everything that's printed should be published. Not everything that's published should be read. And not everything that is read should be believed. So there are a series of gates here. The intelligent and wise and sophisticated person is able to filter things, to make certain that there are guards to the gift that the Lord has given us. So implicit, therefore, in this posuk of Shoftim V'Shotrim, which relates to courts, no question about it, that's the pshat, and relates to the law and order of society, there's also a different nuance, a layer of understanding that relates to all of us as to how we guard the gates that we are in charge of, the gates that we can open and close. And those gates are the talents and the nature of what the Rabboni Shalom has extended to us and what makes us human beings and makes us, so to speak, co-partners in the existence of the universe. Rabbi Hanania ben Akashi Omer Hotzak HaKadosh Baruch Hu Zakos Yisrael. V'chicha chirba lahem Torah mitzvot shenamar. Adonai chafetz siman sitko yagdil tolo v'yadir.